Do you know why most catfish farmers struggle to make money? It's not because of diseases. It's not even because of the market price. The truth is simple. Feed alone eats up to 70% of your farming costs. But here's the secret. I discovered practical ways to slash my feed costs by over 40%. And today I will show you exactly how you can do it too without starving your fish or your fishes losing their weight gain. Stick with me. Let's go. When I first started catfish farming, I was excited. But after my first cycle, I almost quit. Why? Because I realized I had spent almost everything on feed, and at the end, after selling, there was no real profit left. Maybe you're facing the same, working hard, buying expensive feed, but when it's time to sell, you are barely breaking even. The pain is real. I've been there. And it's the reason many farmers give up too early. But the truth is, the problem is not catfish farming itself. The problem is how we manage feed. Because once I fixed that, everything changed for me. Alright, so I started testing, researching, talking to other farmers, and trying new methods. They say a closed man is a closed destiny, so I refused for my destiny to be closed. And slowly I began to see results. I wasn't just throwing feed into the pond anymore. I was controlling it. And the results shocked me. In one cycle after the first, I reduced my cost by 40%, and my fishes still grew healthy and big. So let me share with you the 5 feeding secrets that transformed my farm, including one natural feed you have probably heard of, but you have never really tried. The first secret is this: don't feed more, feed smarter. Most new farmers think the more feed you throw into your pond, the faster your fishes grow. Wrong. Catfish only needs about 3 to 5% of their body weight in feed per day, depending on their stage actually. Overfeeding just leads to wasted money and dirty water. For example, if you have 1,000 fish averaging 200 grams each, that's 200 kg total weight. Multiply that by 3% and you should be feeding around 6 kg, okay, for that day. Not 10 kg, not 12 kg. Because every extra kg you throw into that water is a wasted 800 to 1,000 there. Just like that. So when I learned this calculation, my cost dropped immediately. The second thing there is reduce wastage. This is one of the silent killers of profit. In my early days, I would just dump like one bag of feed into the water and I'll be on my way. The fish would just scatter the whole feed inside the pond and my money would sink just as the way the fish feed is sinking. So what did I do? I switched to spot feeding and then close monitoring. So when I'm feeding and I'm monitoring them to move when they are satisfied. So when they're satisfied, I go ahead to remove the leftovers. Because it's scientifically proven that controlled feeding actually reduces your FCR, which is your feed conversion ratio, by up to 20%, meaning your fish convert feed to body weight more efficiently, which helps reduce waste and at the same time helps with your weight gain, which is a lower cost, which is simple but very, very powerful. The next on the list is to use cheaper but effective alternatives. So this is where many farmers either win or lose. I discovered Azolla, a fast-growing aquatic plant. Azolla is like a miracle leaf, okay? It's packed with 25 to 30% protein and it grows quickly on water surface and reproduces daily. That means you have free food if you actually cultivate it like I do. I started supplementing my catfish diet with Azolla, replacing 15 to 20% of my commercial feed. My fishes loved it and my feed bills actually dropped very well. And there's a science behind it. So everything I do, I try to put science. I try to make sure that I've done my research well before doing it. So Azolla contains a bioactive compound that improves gut health in fishes, helping them digest and absorb nutrients better. That means healthier fishes, less sickness, and a better growth. So today, many progressive farmers actually use Azolla, okay? They use Azolla as partial feed supplement, but most small farmers ignore it because they think it's too much work. Trust me, the savings are worth it. Now, let's get to the secret hack. It's common, but not so common in small-scale farming, which is probiotics and enzymes. So research has shown that adding probiotics these are basically good bacteria. They actually improve digestion and reduce weight when you add them to your fish feed. Okay. For example, probiotics like Bacillus subtilis, I think that's the name, can increase feed efficiency by breaking down nutrients better. What does that mean for you? You get the same weight, but with less feed. On my farm, I tested it and I noticed that my fishes, again, personal experience, my fishes, they grew faster with slightly reduced feed quantity. Now, I'm not saying go there and buy the most expensive supplements in the market. No, because even locally available ones can do the magic for you. All right. Like I said, I have talked to a lot of farmers, and then I realized that some of them are actually doing that, and they have noticed reduced feed intake, but with same or better fruits. The last on the list is balance. It's actually very, very important. I don't believe in fully replacing commercial feed, especially at the early stages when they are fingerlings or juvenile, because that's when they need high proteins. But once my fishes got to 400, 500 grams, I started mixing. I do 70% commercial feed and 30% local meals. My local meals includes maize bran, azolla, maggot meal. Okay. This balance keeps the growth steady while cutting down costs. And if you manage it carefully, your fishery will still reach market size on time, but your wallet won't suffer. It's very important that you get this at the back of your head. Like, it's really, really important you know this. Don't try to overdo it. Don't do 60 to 40, okay? Don't do 50 to 50, please, because you're going to end up hurting the growth of your fish. It's very important that you stick to 70-30, which is a sweet spot. You can do 80-20, you can do 90-10. But the most important thing there is, please don't overdo it, okay? Yeah, so let's continue. Here's one thing I want you to remember in everything I've said. Making money from catfish farming is not about selling at the highest price. Okay. Not selling at the highest price. It's about controlling your cost. If feed cost is 70% of your cost and you have tried, you try to reduce it by even 20%, you're already ahead of most farmers. So imagine when you reduce it by 40%, you'll be smiling to the bank. That's the game. Farming is about working smart, not just working hard. All right. So that brings us to the end of today's video. I'm using my hands to hold my phone. My hands are paining me. So if you found this helpful, please subscribe now, because my next video I'll be talking about the real mistakes that kill a lot of catfish farms. And you don't want to make those mistakes, because of course you want your catfish farm to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. Yeah. So if you have any questions or concerns, drop them in the comments, and I could even use it as a next video idea, or I could just respond to you as the spirit leads. So remember, don't feed more, feed smarter, and see you in my next video. Bye.